Welcome back to the social class for class 9 political science. The last time we was discussions on the first chapter, that is what is democracy and why democracy. So there we found that the meaning of democracy, like defined by the Abraham Lincoln's, and the importance of the democracy, how in their futures and democracies will be there, like one vote, one value, and the freedoms to be expressions. So in democracy overall we found that the peoples are liking more, especially the other countries also liking more on the democracy. But today we'll discuss on the second half, that is the why democracy. So in the past portions we found that what is meaning of democracy. Now why the most of the countries are diverted toward the democracy? Why the countries, they want to become a democratic forms of the government? As I already described that in the past portions, like different forms of the governments are there, like hierarchical systems, tyrannical systems, dictatorship systems, communist forms of government, capitalist forms of government. So in a like third world country, especially those who got after independence 1950, and mostly that means especially the Second World War, those who are get independent from the colonials, that they want to become a democratic country. They want to form a democratic form of the government, because here we found that the most of the points are the merit, but the merit only will not there, but demerit also will be there. So that things exactly we will discuss. The first, that is on the arguments for the democracy. Second one is argument against the democracy. So it will be a good debate for the different sectors of the peoples to give their opinion actually. So if we'll go for like the usual class and practical class, so it will be good for us to interact with each other more there regarding giving the opinion about the democracy, against the democracy. So it will be good for us to be debate. But now we already know that it's difficult to take class, so that's why I come on the video live. By the way, but we try to make it in the simple ways which make you more understand on this topic. So the first topic, that is the arguments for the democracy. So when it refers to democracy a good, and the merit of a democracy, we found many things. Because in democracy we found the first point, like keep changing of the leaders. That means the elections are held every after 5 years. So those leaders who are incapable and those leaders who are unable to do and bring a good welfare of the people, then we are overthrow them. Then we are electing a new leaders for the next 5 years, which they more capable. So here we found that we are getting a correction room. That means we are getting a correction room for us. If this time we are making mistake, so next year we will leave it. We'll go for the another one who are more capable. So this is the one point which make a correction room for us, which we keep changing to them. If they are bad, if they are not ruled properly, we are taking the another one. So this they can do for a betterment of us. Like the second point regarding on the merit of democracy. In this democracy, that means the persons who are willing to be ruled continuously, so that they should be do a good job, that they should be do a welfare of the people. Then only they will capable of bring back, they will capable of ruling the next session also. So if they will doing a welfare of the people, automatically that they will do a welfare of the people, we will elect them. So that's good things there. So they also feel that if we are not doing a good for the common people, the next time they will not vote. So we will go out. So that's why they feel that they have to do work, otherwise next time they will not become as the leader again. That's one a merit point, which they themselves feel that they have to work, otherwise the next time they will go out of their arena. So the third point regarding on the merit of the democracy. The democracy is we are electing the peoples. It is not appointed by any higher authority. So powers are vested upon them. That means we will get a judge. We can be judge them properly. Is that they will capable or not? It means that persons are come from any criminal background or not. Then we are come to be elect them, because powers are with us. We can be choose the leaders are good or not. We can be choose that the leader can be capable or not. So powers are vested upon us, a common people. That is the one good of the merit of democratic government. That means we have capable to do there. So we keep changing the leaders if they are not working properly. So every after 5 year elections are come, let them to be know that if they are not working properly, the next time they will go out of the arena. So that's comes in their mind also there. So in democracy we found that the peoples are doing more, especially like with compared to the others. But when we refers to the second point of the argument against the democracy, here also we found some contradictory point. Like due to the continuously keep changing of the leaders, it's very difficult to establish a good governance, because 5 years are there. Okay, 5 years they can do work, but sometimes some projects, some schemes need more years, which they are keep changing. That means due to the keep changings of the leaders, they are unable to complete the work. We found that. And the another things they are not interested about the common people. They don't know about the people more, what they are thinking. In a with short span of time, 5 years. The another side they have to do a goodness, another side they have to look for the people's what they are liking also. So they may feel that the years are very less. And the third point, here also we found that in the democratic form of the government, especially sometimes we found that they are using the manpower and muscle power, money power. They are pressurizing through the money power and muscle power. Whereas we said that in the past session we found the democracy should be free and fair electoral competitions. But in practical life we found that the money power and muscle powers and that cultures are going continuously there. They're pressurizing the people, they're kidnapping the people, they're torturing the people and make them to forcefully to cast their vote in favors of them. So that is not the good forms of the democracy. And that's against that. That is exactly the argument against the democracy. Because the police personnel are there, police personnel are there to protect them, but sometimes due to the huge and cry and due to the overpopulations, it's very difficult, especially in interior area, where the peoples want to be reached here. Sometimes when people are unable to reach due to the road connectivities are failure. So on that case, they are misusing their powers, they're misusing their votes. So that's we found in the arguments against the democracy, due to the keep changing. Again we come back to the the argument for democracy. Here we found that the accountabilities are maintained properly. Like we found the elected leaders and opposition leaders, majority and opposition. We already know that the majority is those who won in elections, they are ruling the government. The oppositions who are lost, especially regarding on the regional party. Like many regional parties are there, like Congress, BJP, Trinamool Congress, NCP, Shiv Sena, Akali Dal, and many more are there. So due to that make a alliance, when they are forming a majority, like for example, in the lower class also you may be studied there. Like in Arunachal 60 assembly seats are there. So out of 60, at least they need a 31-32 seat to become a majority, to rule the government. Then they will appoint as a chief minister. But if they are unable to get, particular party are unable to get that majority, then they will become as oppositions. And oppositions are the backbones of the democracy exactly. Because whatever the policies and programs are implemented, they are checking them. Is that rules, is that new schemes, project, welfares are properly implemented or not? Is that all schemes are reached to the common people or not? Then they are asking questions to them, to the ruling government. And due to that pressures, ruling governments are working on that. Because either we are electing our leaders, that leaders may be a different political parties, so they may be not come to the power. But then they become as the opposition. And they are asking the questions to the ruling government, what they are done for the common people, what they are done there. And recently also you may be heard about regarding on the Farm Bill. So ruling governments are started there, but some oppositions are opposing them. Like you may be already found like a note ban regarding on changings of money, regarding on GSTs. So oppositions are opposing there. So they found that if it is good for the people, they are passed in parliament. If it is bad, they will not pass in parliament. Like in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, lower house and upper house, we know that whenever the bills are passed, they are only simple paper. They pass into the Lok Sabha. If they are agree, the majority they got, then it go to the Rajya Sabha. In Rajya Sabha also discussions are there, and after that finally it's go to the president. And once they make a signature, then they become as a law, rules and regulations, and that can be applicable and implemented in the country. So that is regarding on the arguments of democracy, goodness and merits of democracy, and the argument against the democracy. So if you study the textbook, it will be more better for you. You can understand more on that, and after study only, you can ask me the questions and doubt. Without studying the textbook, it's very difficult to understand. And the democracy we already study from the lower class, class 6, class 7 also we study, 8 also we study. So nothing is there to explain more on the democracy, more in depth. And the last topic for today, and that is the borders meaning of democracy. How we make a democracy more stronger. And what is the exactly meaning, what the peoples are feeling on the democracy. Only the keep changings of the leaders are a democracy, or we will give a setup for the 10 years, 15 years. Because recently also we found that many political leaders, like who can be ruled continuously for 10 years, 15 years, because they need a time to be set up properly. Who are working on a particular project, particular scheme, they only know that. If keep changing frequently also, it's sometimes very problem, hamper for the society. They are unable to do a goodness for society within a short span of time. They need a time also. But another side, those corrupted governments who are whatever projects and programs are come there, if they all taken by their family members, that is also not good things. So that's why regarding what the broadening meanings of the democracy, as I already repeatedly explained that in democracy, the rulers are elected by the common people, and we have a ultimate power. And that's whoever become as the leader, that leaders also should be do work for us. Then only we can be say as the democratic government is a stable government. Democratic government is a good governance. So for today, that much only there. And if you have any doubt, any problem, as I already said that, you can ask me after study the textbook, and directly you can contact me, or you can write a message on the WhatsApp. So I try to make it easy way for you. And this much only there for the first chapters of the political science, and the next we'll go to the second chapter, or either we'll go to the economics, because as per my knowledge, history sections are over there except the first chapter. So your happily exam also coming there. So for that you have to study more continuously there, and after study only the doubt will be come out. So if the doubts are there, you can ask me without hesitations. Thank you for that.